Welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. I'm here with my BFF, Pastor Mork.
Oh, yeah, man.
It was good having Nessa on.
It is, but do you know something? Did you notice something?
I did notice something.
She walked out without the contract.
All that hard work I put in
Left
there.
the pen, did not sign it. So I'm going to leave it here because I think she's either trying to trick us and take over the show.
Right.
And it's going to be all women. And I'll probably give it a month and it will be all women.
Right.
And then we probably won't even get a guest spot.
No, they won't even remember us.
So some weird reason she came on, kind of acknowledged I'll sign it.
Yep.
Tricked me and started talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
And then walked out without signing it. I'm going to have her back next week and I'm going to ask her why she did that. We're going to leave it right there.
Right.
Don't change it.
Yep.
And we're gonna make her acknowledge it, right? If she's going to represent women all over and be a guest on the show, we don't want her to sue us.
You're right.
All about her,
Right.
So, but it could be because she is powerful.
She did make me feel less spiritual.
I know. Yeah, me too.
God.
Yeah,
I complain.
Yeah, I complain all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, she probably needs to pastor the house.
Like, for example, it's hot in here.
Yeah. Read what you got today.
All right. Revelation chapter 5, verses 1 through 8.
Don't be good.
Then I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one who was sitting on the throne. There was writing on the inside and the outside of the scroll, and it was sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel who shouted with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seals on the scroll and open it?" But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll and read it. Then I began to weep bitterly because no one was found worthy to open the scroll and read it. But one of the 24 elders said to me, "Stop weeping. Look, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the heir to David's throne, has won the victory. He is worthy to open the scroll and its 7 seals." Then I saw a lamb that looked as if it had been slaughtered, but it was now standing between the throne and the 4 living beings and among the 24 elders. He had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which represent the 7-fold Spirit of God that is sent into every part of the earth. He stepped forward and took the scroll from the right hand of the one sitting on the throne. And when he took the scroll, the 4 living beings and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp, and they held gold bowls filled with incense, which are prayers of God's people.
Here's my question. How does prayer impact my worth? Because we've been talking all week. We find worth in money, jobs, people, accolades, whatever. I mean, I don't belabor that point. But prayer, I've been really I guess I talked with you a couple of weeks ago about thinking about doing a series at Believers, right?
Yeah.
Just on prayer.
Right.
So prayer's really been in my heart, assessing my own prayer life of what I would say, is it a good one, a bad one? Is it weak? Is it strong? But in relationship to my value, how I see myself, how I view God, like Nessa's stuff yesterday, she said, well, what Matt and I do is rather than get stuck in the moment, we seek the heart of God, right? I may equate that as prayer, because how do I seek the heart of God? Well, through the word or through, talking to other people. But this thought of prayer, so I'm going to throw that to you. How do you think prayer affects the worth of a Christian? How they see themselves versus how they see God versus just a devotional. Did you pray today? Did you? Because I know a ton of people that pray, but are not very effective, and tons of people that pray over their food. But
Right.
So in specific to worth, like how I feel, I don't get stuck in the moment, but prayer impacts my worth.
I think that if we're just nominal Christians and we serve a vending machine God, meaning my prayers are, "Oh God, I need help. Oh God, I want this. Oh God, bless me." Okay. So prayer A5, C3, sure, and then boom, hopefully it pops out and doesn't get stuck.
Right.
Then what happens if my prayer does get stuck? I push the button and God doesn't answer it. Then my worth is, then I must suck. Because God, then my worth is, I'm a terrible Christian.
Or God doesn't love me.
Yeah, or God doesn't love me, right? And so let me work harder and shake the vending machine. God, please let this prayer come to pass, come true. It's almost like a fortune cookie.
Sure.
Right. Then, or I think you called it a concierge Jesus, right? We just tap the little bell and hopefully he can give me directions to find my blessing. And I think if that's what we define prayer as, then if we're, it's very easy for the enemy to come and say, oh, you're not doing good enough. You're not tithing good enough. You're not going to church good enough. And God doesn't love you because you're not a good Christian.
So then my question would be, why do we teach, or why do we think our perceptions is that prayer is connected to my answer? Because that seems to be what you're talking about. If I get what I ask God for, he must love me more.
Yeah.
If I get what I ask God for, well, he must think I'm more special and anointed. But when I don't get what I asked for, God's either mad at me, or he's not really God at all, or he's not really there. Why have we taken prayer and connected it to results?
Because I think prayer does ultimately produce results.
Okay.
But the part where we have to be okay with is it may produce results that you don't want. Meaning, we said on Tuesday, I believe it was, that the goal of this whole thing is we're independent beings, so we're on a journey to become more dependent on God and less on ourselves. And so prayer is the fuel to keep moving towards the dependence. But we can trick ourselves to thinking, well, I'm praying, so I'm becoming less dependent on me and more dependent on God, when all along your prayers are really just about you. But if we're really praying, then it means that I'm becoming more dependent on God. It's recognizing less dependence on me and more dependence on God. And so the result is less of me and more of him.
Okay. And have you ever had a prayer not answered?
Oh, yeah.
How did it make you feel?
Of course, lame and and far from God, and oh God, what did I do wrong, and what do I need to get right? All those things.
Right. Do you have a prayer you're praying right now that's not been answered yet?
Yeah.
And how are you staying true to he's still real, he's still God, he still keeps his promises, but he's not answering my prayer? How do you keep yourself from getting discouraged?
The thoughts still go through my head, but I have to come back ultimately to the Word.
Okay.
And the Word is the foundation, what the Scriptures say. And the Scriptures are ultimately the foundation, and on top of that, have people around me, community that encourages me, says, oh, well, let's go back to the Scripture. Let's go back to the foundation.
So let's say I'm praying a prayer, it's not getting answered. I'm trying not to get discouraged. I come to you. I tell you that. What do you tell me? Do I keep praying for it? Do I stop praying? Because I think that's what confuses me sometimes. Like, do I just keep pressing in like that persevering prayer? You need to persevere. You need to storm the gates of heaven. You need to not let go of that promise. Abraham stood 25 years on a promise. Versus, I just don't know if I got faith to wait 25 years praying the same thing. How do you tell someone to either keep praying and don't give up versus, yeah, you might just let that go because it's probably not going to get answered? Or would you ever tell somebody that?
Yeah. I think it depends on the situation, but I think I would say that's kind of, I think it goes back to the Word. Does what you're praying for align with the Word? If it does, come on, let's keep praying. Let's not give up on that.
That's good.
Let's have faith for it. And if it doesn't line up for the Word, like, we probably just need to let that one go. I wouldn't waste my energy on that one.
Yeah, these are things I've been thinking about, like tying my value to my prayer life. So I want to ask you a question. Scale of 1 to 10. Where is your Bible reading? Typical. If you were going to say 10 being great, man, do it daily. I mean, where would you give yourself?
Yeah, about 9.
Okay. Prayer, same thing.
Probably like a 5.
Okay. Why the big discrepancy, nearly half in prayer versus reading a Bible?
Because I put focus to get better at reading my Bible.
Okay.
And lately, I have been filled to stir to pray more.
Okay.
But I guess I probably don't put as much value as I should. I mean, I do pray, right? But as much value on things and problems that I have in my life to be that fuel to move forward.
That's good. I'm excited because I'm going to, starting Sunday, I'm going to teach, which I think is like November 1st. I'm going to start teaching on prayer. I don't think I've ever done a series on prayer any length of time. I mean, I've had messages about praying, but I've been convicted too in a weird way. Like, man, my prayer life, not that I don't pray, but am I even praying right?
Yeah.
And then that's weird. Like, is there a right way?
Right.
Like, I don't ever tell my children, you better come to me the right way.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited because I really am beginning to believe that the sheer likelihood of a successful life is connected to prayer. I genuinely believe it.
That's good.
My marriage, everything is connected to. And yet I love what you say, because I have 1,000 questions of, God, you told me to pray. I prayed. I still didn't get the answer. You told me to pray. I prayed. It went the opposite way.
Yeah.
You told me to pray for the sick. They got sicker. You told me to pray for healing. They died. You told me to pray for this. It never happened. And you suddenly go, I don't even, man, prayers, it's a crapshoot, right? Yeah, good luck, 50-50. Right. And I found myself several years back, quite a while back, I should say, I found myself skeptical.
Yeah.
I love God, but skeptical about prayer. Like, I just don't see the results. And you said that it's a result praying. I want to push A5 and get A5.
Yeah.
And man, you talking about letting the devil beat you up when you feel like your prayers don't get answered. And it was even so bad I made jokes about it. Like, yeah, you don't want me to pray for you because I just don't even know if it's going to work, right? I would joke. Of course I would pray because I believe in God. I believe in his word. I believe he tells me to pray. I pray. It's not on how I feel, but then rolling around in my brain is you might want to get somebody else, And so I've had many years to work through that, many years of a laundry list of unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to reconcile unanswered prayers with the power of God and not let it impact my worth, and continue to still pray and not become a skeptic, a believing skeptic. And then I kind of wonder too, I guess next week we talk about it more, but like, I really wonder how much of a Christian's life is really guided by prayer. So I'm excited to jump in. I don't know what's going to come out of the whole series, but I've kind of landed on a starting point, and I look forward to jump off. So, so here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to test it and pray. It's not about how long or all the rules we put on it, but prayer is just simply a communing with God. The way I do it is I drive down I-20 and me and God have a conversation. I don't think you have to be necessarily kneeling or in a closet, or I think it's just learning to listen. That's probably where I start with prayers. I try to learn to listen to what God wants to say. Man, what a great week. I look forward to next week to talk about, Revelation 6, right? It's going to be a doozy. So I look forward to it. And thank you again for just tackling this difficult book and making it fun and hanging out with me. And we'll see you next week.